My final point, Dad, I tell you who I'd love to see score on the final day of the season. I'd love a corner to come whipped in and Clara just to whack it in the top corner off his head. I'd love to see Clara score in this last game of the season. But that's just a small thing. I'll still take a win. It doesn't actually matter. But for me, Clara's had such an incredible season. A little goal for him would be like the cherry on the top for me.
Yuki.
Or Yuki, yeah.
So welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue, and we've finally reached that point of the season where we're about to talk to you about our final opposition in the season, which is Cambridge United, where we travel to this weekend in what has been an amazing season for Birmingham City. We know now that we've got the EFL points record, and we've broken all sorts of records, and we can add to that in this game, Matt. So yeah, it's an interesting game to go to last this one, isn't it, Cambridge? Because we know that they've had a terrible season, haven't they?
Well, we're promoted and they're relegated, so it really is. I mean, we still have something to go for by not just breaking the EFL points record, by kind of smashing it out of the park, don't we? Because if we win this, that will put us on 111 points, and I'm sure most Blues fans will agree that is something that will stand the test of time. I don't think many teams will get 111 points in maybe both our lifetimes, Dad, because I think, and the wins as well, I think Doncaster hold the previous record, and that hasn't been broken since the 50s.
Well, we're equal with them now. We and Doncaster hold that record now.
Yeah.
But as you rightly say, Matt, if we win this game, we go and beat that record as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, just coming back to my point, Dad, obviously Cambridge are a relegated team, and I thought at one point Neil Harris was going to come in and sort of perform a bit of a miracle, but I think even for him it was a stretch too far, weren't it, in the end, I think Cambridge have sat bottom of the league for a lot of the season. Them and Shrewsbury have been sort of interchanging sort of 23rd and 24th. But yeah, just to remind ourselves earlier in the season, Dad, we beat them 4-0 at St.Andrews, our place, and we scored one of my favourite goals of the season. I don't know if you remember it, but it was a really nice play. It comes over. Stansfield leaves it. I think someone else leaves it, and then Dowell ends up coming in and tucking it in the bottom right from memory. I could have got that a little bit wrong there, but really love that goal. Great team goal, and looking forward to this game. That should be a good one.
Yeah, with Cambridge as well. Neil Harris, their manager now, he was there last season, but then he left to go to Millwall, didn't he? And I thought he'd stay at Millwall, but I don't know what the circumstances were. But he left Millwall and he came back to Cambridge. Gary Monk was the manager at the start of the season. In fact, he was the manager when they came to us, and they had a really poor season. Just on current form, which is clearly not good enough for them. In the last 10 games, they've won 2, drawn 3, and lost 5. We've won 8, drawn 2, and lost none. In terms of their current league position, as you know, they're second bottom of the league. I think that they can't go above or below that. No, they will finish second bottom, regardless of whatever the result is here. Current form, they're 9 points off their last 8 games, so they're 2 points. 2/3 of the way down that table. Their home form is the second worst in the league.
Yeah.
They've only got 21 points at home. The only team that's got less points at home than them is Shrewsbury. And Shrewsbury beat us. So
exactly. Well, it shows anything can happen though in football, doesn't it?
Yeah. So again, we can't be complacent.
And also, Dad, I mean, we know what it feels like to get relegated. So this isn't a podcast almost like gleeful or looking at Cambridge and judging. We were there last season. Relegation is awful.
It's a horrible.
So I do actually feel for Cambridge. We know kind of exactly what the fans are going through. Obviously, we went Championship to League One. They're going down a tier again, but. Yeah, I do feel for them. It's never nice getting relegated. And, again, just, we are a positive, happy positive. I hope things turn around for Cambridge and they bounce back straight.
I think if they keep Neil Harris, I think they will. I think that he's a good manager. I think in the summer he'll have the opportunity, hopefully, to bring in a few players. Now, I know that they won't have a massive budget, but they, can bring change players around, loan players, get a few frees in. But Neil Harris knows what he's doing. So they've got the right man in charge. If they can keep him, because we never know what's going to happen with relegation, do we? Just on their away form, their 4th worst away form. So 2nd worst home form, 4th worst away form. Not a surprise given where they are. In terms of goals scored, they've only scored 44 goals, which is the 5th least in the whole league. Only Bristol Rovers, Stevenage, Shrewsbury and Wigan are below that. And defensively, they are the 6th worst defence in the league. So nothing surprising there in terms of where they are in their league position. But they have had some surprise results. I mean, just a few games ago, they beat Huddersfield away. Now, you might think, well, that's not really a surprise because Huddersfield are in a terrible form, aren't they? But that was a result that, considering where they are in the league compared to Huddersfield, was a surprise me.
Away from home as well.
Well. They also beat Shrewsbury away before that, and 3 draws. They drew 2-2 at home to Wrexham, 1-1 Northampton, and 1-1 at Barnsley. So they've got results in them, and but the problem is that they had left themselves too much to do, and they were almost doomed. Really, from Christmas, I would have thought that they knew that they were in real trouble. I think
I'm going to come back to the game in a second there, but I've just remembered this is our last pre-video of the season.
Yeah, I did say that in the intro.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Sorry, I must have been away with the fairies for me. But yeah, no, I just realised it's our last one. Quite sad. Yeah, and Neil Harris, he's a good manager. He kind of, I put Neil Harris in the same category as kind of Gary Rowett, John Eustace.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Solid,
I think that's fair.
a solid pair of hands who's just reliable, who knows how to get results. But he is definitely that kind of structure first, compactness first, defence first a little bit as well. And he really steadied the ship at Millwall when he went there last season. You know, they beat us in that last minute. Do you remember that, Dad? That was a horrible.
I do. 90th minute corner header goal. We lose.
Katanga was it? Or that
yeah,
centre half.
and
you know, and he got Cardiff into the playoffs in his first season. So again, a very good manager, Neil Harris, someone who I respect quite a lot. And I think you raise a very interesting point that I'm going to take your point a little bit further. So just to kind of show Cambridge's inconsistency, right? So they've lost to some teams around them. So they lost to Burton, Crawley, Bristol Rovers. They lost to Peterborough 6-1. But then they've managed some weird draws. So they've drew to Wrexham, Wycombe, Bolton, Barnsley. And they've beaten Huddersfield, Mansfield, Stevenage, Wigan. I mean, that's all over the place, isn't it? You know, that is a real random spread of results. And I think that kind of epitomises teams that struggle and end up in the bottom half and the relegation zones. Is you can't pick out when they're going to win, lose or draw on any given week.
It is weird, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, that's happened sometimes with teams. And I think that shows us as well, they can play well against the better teams. So that's maybe something for us to be aware of. So just a little bit about their playing style. So they play with, or they try to play with width. They do where they can try to shoot on sight, which I'm sure is an instruction from Neil Harris, and they do like attacking down the right. Strengths, creating scoring chances, but I mean that shows us a strength in the research, but doesn't really reflect in the goals that they score. So I find that strange. But as you imagine, with a team in this position, they've got a lot of weaknesses as well. Keeping possession of the ball. So again, we're going to have we've dominated games anyway through possession. And that's going to happen here as well. They're not good at finishing scoring chances, and they're very weak at defending against long shots. So this could be a game for a Water to put a few shots in, or maybe some of the other players to have a go. So nothing surprising there about a team that's struggling down the bottom of the table, what their strengths and weaknesses are.
And I think when I've seen Cambridge this season, Dad, again, you know, Blues fans, we've been doing this podcast for a year now. Very similar themes to standard League One teams. Very physical. They like to take advantage of set pieces, like to catch you on the transition. That's the Cambridge kind of game. Exactly how Shrewsbury play, Crawley play. You know, those teams that are down the bottom. And it's a League One trait, isn't it, to be strong at set pieces, to kind of go a bit more direct. It's a very direct league, isn't it, League One? And Cambridge are no different. You know, they will, if they get the ball, try and bypass the midfield, as we said in the last podcast when we played Blackpool as well. But, you know, don't underestimate their fight and their determination. And I think that is sometimes what can get them over the line in certain games. Is fair enough, they know they haven't got the quality that certain teams have, like Blues. That isn't arrogance, it's just a fact. They haven't got the squad depth that Blues have got. And I think that's where we've really excelled this season. You know, we saw at Blackpool, Dad, coming off the bench was Paikin, Stansfield. Absolutely mental bench the Blues have got. And I think sometimes in certain parts of the season, I know Burton have felt it. I know Shrewsbury and some of the lower teams, they've just felt that lack of depth in their squads. I think that can really hit a team who's struggling, isn't it, when you just haven't got that ability to rotate your squad. But yeah, I think what we need to be really capitalised, and we saw it at St.Andrews as well, is when they do sometimes come out or when they do go a bit more direct, you can really punish them on the transition. And what I've been really encouraged with the Blues, Dad, these past few games is the speed of passing, cutting through the lines with our passing, you know, being a bit more adventurous, you know, trying a little bit to go further afield. So if we can do that this weekend, I have no doubt we'll win this game. But, you know, again, I'm just being wary, you know, physical team. They've got nothing to lose as well. They are relegated. I mean, it depends which way you swing that, because Blackpool, to me, look like a team that are completely given up. So hopefully Cambridge don't do that. And hopefully they do, because we can get the points record. But it'd still be entertaining to have a game in our hands. So, I think they will be battling, they will be fighting, but we have more than enough quality to win this game.
Like you said, their motivation is going to be the key to this. I mean, we'll be motivated because we want the point. We want to increase that points record. But there's going to be a lot of players that are going to be playing that game. They're not going to be there next season, you know, for Cambridge. And we saw that for Blackpool. I expected more from Blackpool. So, and I think I'm hoping that the Cambridge, you know, if we want a decent game, you know, we want to watch a good game of football. Of course, we want to win it. Of course, we do. But they'll be playing for their contracts as well. Some of these players, you know,
and pride,
you
know, to some extent.
Yeah, and you know, hopefully that you know they'll give us a good game. But we do know they've got Michael Morrison there, ex Birmingham City player. I think he's their captain. Gary Gardner. I mean, I don't know if he's even played for them yet.
I don't think he has.
No,
If he has, he's played one or two games.
Or is he still there? Maybe if you're a Cambridge fan, you're watching this. Let us know what's happening with Gary Gardner. We know that he was released by us, and you took him at your club at the beginning of the season. But as far as I'm aware, I couldn't see anywhere where any stats where he's played.
Longello as well, sir.
Longello, yeah. Well, he won't be able to play in this anyway.
No,
but I don't think he was getting in the team anyway by the looks of.
I think Gary Monk was playing him on the left wing when he was there.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been getting in the squad under Neil Harris, but I think that kind of speaks volumes in and of itself as well, doesn't it?
So he'll be coming back to us as well. Just a bit on there before we get into the Blues team. Top scorers, Josh Stokes is their top scorer with 7 goals, attacking midfielder. As also 7 goals is Elias Kuchunga. He's a centre forward with 7 goals. Shane Lavery, another centre forward with 4 goals. Daniel Alundulu, centre forward with 4 goals, and Salai Kaikai, a left winger with 4 goals. They've got a few assists. James Brophy, a left midfielder, has got 6 assists, and Shane Lavery 3, etc. So not huge amounts of goals in that team. Mm-hmm. Neil Harris is likely, because he did in the last game, he's played 11 times. He's played 4-2-3-1. So very similar to our line, but he may change that because he has played 3-4-3 as well. I don't think he'll go 3-4-3 in this game. No. I think if he did that, I think it could be it's risky to play 3. But those 3 would transition to midfield. They'd effectively play a 1 with that up front.
Exactly. But
so that's Cambridge. So should we go on to the Blues team?
Yeah, thankfully I've got the exciting task this one, Dad. So do you want to take us through goalkeeper and defence?
Yeah, I'm going to assume final game of the season. Although one comment that Chris Davis made in his post-match against Blackpool, he did say that he might need to change things around. I wonder if that's a bit of a curveball. But I think last game of the season, go for your strongest team. You haven't got another game.
I agree.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for the standard back 5, including the goalkeeper, which will be Allsop in goal, Cochrane at left back, Ben Davies and Clara as the centre halves, and then Laird as the right back.
Bang on for me as well, Dad. Yeah. So in the midfield, I've gone for Awata and Paik in the 6s.
Yeah.
I've gone for Keshi on the left, Williamson the 10, Dowell on the right, and I'm going to feed it into Stansfield.
That's exactly what I've got.
Yeah. I think that is our arguably our strongest team, isn't it?
I think that's what. Again, it depends on it. I don't think we've picked up injuries. Paik was a substitute, so he'll be fit. I think Paik is nailed on to start this game.
But I wouldn't be surprised, Dad, if he's talking about rotation, to see Leonard maybe, to see May maybe, to see Taylor Garden-Hickman maybe. Again, we have such good options. If he's going to rotate, there are certain positions he could maybe give someone a break. But why do that? It's the last game of the season. So I think he's going to go all out like he did against Mansfield at the home game, and I think he's going to pick our strongest 11. And for me, this season and where we are, that's arguably our strongest 11.
Yeah, I agree. And what about score prediction then? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first, and I think we're going to end this one on a bang. I think you said in the last game that maybe against Blackpool that as we move towards the end, we're going to go out on a high.
Yeah.
So I've gone for Birmingham City for a 3-0 win.
So have I.
Yeah.
I've gone 3-0 as well. We've got a 52 positive plus goal difference in the league, and we have been scoring goals in the last few games, particularly last half a dozen games, apart from the Crawley game. But we've got a few 4s, and we've got a 6 against Barnsley, a couple of 4s. I think we'll finish 3-0, and I think there's every chance that could happen as well.
Yeah.
I think that the opposition it really is down to them.
Yeah.
We look at us and we play our game. We will win this game easily if we play our game. But if Neil Harris gets them up for it, so it's your last chance to show me what you can do. Otherwise, I'm going to be making choices. You're out the door. You think, well, I'm paying because this is to these players. This is their livelihood. It's not just their careers. It's their families and everything else. So it depends. But I think that we're more than adequate of winning this game. Yeah. I've gone 3-0. You've gone 3-0.
My final point, Dad. I tell you who I'd love to see score on the final day of the season. I'd love a corner to come whipped in and Clara just to whack it in the top corner off his head. I'd love to see Clara score in this last game of the season. But that's just a small thing. I'll still take a win. It doesn't actually matter. But for me, Clara's had such an incredible season. A little goal for him would be like the cherry on the top for
him.
Or Yuki, yeah.
Yuki wasn't on the bench against.
I think he will be against Cambridge.
I think he will be as well, and it'd be great for him to get a.
He might start with Yuki. We just don't know, do we?
I can't see that.
No, I don't think he will either.
I think he'll be a substitute appearance if he comes on, if that's what Chris Davis wants to do. But just give him a final hurrah and give him the opportunity to get that last goal if he can.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that's what we think, Birmingham City supporters. say, it's a final game of the season. So we've had we can't argue. We've had an amazing season. It's been a real reset, hasn't it? Coming down to League One, everything happened that we would want to happen, and now we can look forward to Championship football next season. But love to know your thoughts on this game. Are you going? And we know that there's a tradition in the final game that Birmingham City supporters go to their final away game in fancy dress. So if you're going, let us know. Maybe what you're going as. And we are gold members this season, and we literally couldn't get tickets. They didn't go below platinum. But next season we are platinum. So hopefully we'll get the choice of games that we can go to. But so we won't be going. Let us know if you're going in fancy dress, what you're going as. Let us know what you think the team will be, and maybe what your score prediction is. Add that in the comments below. If you're a Cambridge fan, we always welcome comments from fans from the opposition team. So please add your comments below as well. As always, if you did like this podcast, then don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't checked us out on our social media channels already, then pop along to our X page and our Instagram page. And if you like to watch or listen to your podcasts on Spotify, you'll also find us on there. And you'll see the handles appearing on the screen for all of these right now. If you haven't subscribed already and you'd like to, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button. And if you want notifications, there's a little bell icon next to that. Make sure you press that as well for notifications every time we put a podcast. Just one final point from me. This is the last match video that we're doing, but we will be doing and producing content all through the summer. So keep up with the channel, and we'll keep you up to date with what we know and what our thoughts are on various things. So we're not going anywhere over the summer. There will be little breaks because of holidays and things like that, but we will be producing content. So as always, thank you very much for everybody who supported our channel all through this season. It's been a fabulous season. We've really enjoyed it. All the fantastic comments that you guys give us about our content, we really, really appreciate. So that's it for this podcast. Thank you very much for watching. Me and Matt will see you on the next one, all about Birmingham City.